I knew I have this method that I just had to go back to and really take seriously. I know that the Learn Buteyko online team is the best, hands down.
Hey, Palu, lovely to see you.
Hello, Martha from the Philippines.
So you have been a student of Learn Buteyko for a long time. How did you find out about it?
Okay, my initial encounter with the Buteyko breathing method was through an article in a daily newspaper.
Mhm.
And the way they described the method got me excited because it was all natural and it promised benefits that I've been looking for all these years. Because by that time, I think I was in my late 30s and I had asthma since I was 3.
Mhm.
So I've been suffering for a long time. So it's not just asthma that I had. I also had severe sinusitis and skin allergies, which chronic all over my body.
Mhm.
And, they were oozing and very painful. That's why I never wore a dress or a skirt for decades because I had to hide them. I had to put some bandage on them, put some medicines. That's why I had like scars all over my legs and my arms. Luckily, my face was spared. But I had this teeny weeny itchy part here, but it never progressed. So I read that at about December when I was pregnant with my 6th child.
Mhm.
Now, why did I want to learn it? Because during my 6th pregnancy, I was having daily asthma attacks. I had a new set of doctors back then. My OB and the pediatrician did not allow me to use any inhaler whatsoever. No bronchodilators, no steroid inhalers, nothing. So I was kind of worried. What would happen to me if I gave birth? So I wanted to be prepared for that.
Mm.
And yeah, I almost died giving birth. Um, yes. And when I woke up, they told me they almost lost me. I turned violet
Mhm.
after the delivery and I was intubated. Okay? That's why I felt some hoarseness and I had some sore throat and I felt it was painful. So after that, that was December. By January, I already was having a severe asthma attack. So my pulmonologist wanted me to be confined. And of course, he gave me a long list of medicines. He gave me another option. He told me I needed to take prednisone, no? Steroids. So I opted for that. Because first of all, I wanted to gain the benefits. I wanted to see if he could help me get out of that asthma attack without being hospitalized. And lucky for us, he taught my husband and I and our 4 elder children privately. So he came to the house. That's why we became very close.
Mhm.
He saw the kids grow up, yeah, and we were doing the kids were doing the steps in our backyard. So after learning the method, I immediately felt the benefit. And I remember Jack was asking me, how is your asthma? And I said, I'm not paying attention to my asthma. What I noticed was I was more calm.
Mm.
And that to me was so important. I was not always in a panic mode. And why? Because I was so conscious that I might lose carbon dioxide. So I refrained from talking a lot. I'm a loud person, okay? From talking a lot, from laughing very loudly. And so I noticed that my demeanor really changed. And no more Ventolin, no more bronchodilators, but I had to go on to take steroids for a while until it was tapered by Jack. And then after that, I really felt good about it. That I was really up and about, and it was as if nothing really happened.
What about your skin?
Like,
What happened to your skin?
oh, my skin, it cleared up, not immediately, but it cleared up. And yeah, it cleared up. But of course, I wasn't really still wearing dresses because of the scars. I still had asthma attacks because I would overeat.
Yeah.
And I was really not consistent with the practice.
Okay.
So I would really credit Jack for really calling me up as often as he could. Because back in those days, the follow-up was through calls. No? The phone, it's not even the cell phone. And sometimes text messages. Yeah, my mea culpa really. If I had really been consistent, I don't know what would have happened. Maybe I would not have had hypertension because I had that during my seventh child. Aside from that, I lost weight. And people really noticed, like maybe in 6 months or less, I lost 20 pounds. And even if I was able to eat only twice a day, I had so much energy. I could keep up with my 6 children.
Yeah, it's quite something. And then you had a 7th child.
Yes, I had a 7th child. Yes. After giving birth to my 7th child, I had hypertension. So since then, I've been taking an antihypertensive medicine. So that's been 19 years.
What about between the time that you gave birth to your last child and until the last few years? Did you practice consistently, or did you give it up, or how did it go?
I gave it up. But when I had symptoms, I would do it. I would practice it and really get some relief, immediate relief. Because I remember Jack telling me, what's good about it is once you learn it and you go back, your body knows how to do it. So it will not be that difficult.
That's what you found. It wasn't that difficult to go back.
Yes, it was not that difficult. And, during those years, I was able to encourage many friends of mine to really learn the method, And, so hypertensive came. During that time, my husband got really sick already. And he went on dialysis for almost 8 years. So I took care of him. That is where I really began having real serious health problems. Because I was really on emergency mode the whole time.
Sure.
When he would wake up in the middle of the night, I would look if he was having difficulty in breathing, because by that time, I am, how do you call it? Like the water would fill his lungs. I would have to rush him to the ER. Or if his blood pressure would go up, I would bring him to the ER. So, frequent hospitalizations, frequent visits to the emergency room. And, that really took a toll on my health. At the same time, we already ventured into other alternative methods to help him. And so I remember Jack again helping us out. But my husband found it difficult to do the Buteyko already.
Sure.
But Jack was helping me with my health, so that I will be able to take care of my husband.
And also you got 7 children. It wasn't just your husband, wasn't it?
Yes, I had 7 children.
Yeah.
So taking care of him and then taking care of my children. But there came a point where I think it was on the 5th year, I was already rushed to the ER because of my blood pressure. I blacked out for some time. And I told my children, I think it's time that you take over accompanying him. So that gave me time to relax. But of course, I was also on emergency mode because anything could happen to my husband during the dialysis session. And then I began developing palpitations already. So my cardiologist told me to take this Holter machine to monitor my heart rate, and he said nothing was wrong with me. So what was I feeling? He said I may have been anxious because of the situation of my husband, and he wouldn't be surprised if that was the reason. I was all angst and anxious, and always, you know, the feeling like, you know, something is going to happen, something bad is going to happen. I was always having that mindset.
Yeah, you were always on alert.
On alert, correct. Debilitating fear was really part of my system already during that time.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, it really became worse.
Right.
So my husband passed away 4 years ago. And then after that, I really noticed that my health really deteriorated, especially my heart. I couldn't climb the stairs. I had palpitations again. And I would not really go out of my room anymore. Now, when the pandemic hit, that was 2020, when the lockdowns began, my second son was one of the first 100 patients of COVID. And my goodness, he wasn't hospitalized. He stayed in the house, but he was isolated for 2 months. And my goodness, I thought I would go crazy because the news was all about deaths. I became weaker. I couldn't control my mind anymore. So I decided to re-enroll in the beginner's workshop. And I tried doing it, but again, not consistently. And when I realized it was really my mind that was getting in the way, I enrolled in the advanced workshop. But then again, life got in the way and I found it too difficult. And even if I had all the time in the world, I found reasons not to do it. Okay?
Yeah.
And until finally my daughter got married, and then she transferred here to our home, and she gave birth February. And by that time, my blood pressure was really uncontrolled. And I was panicking because I didn't want to have a stroke because I was going to have my first grandchild. I became very sad because my granddaughter was tongue-tied and lip-tied. My daughter needed help in taking care of her, and I could not help her at all. They were downstairs, and I was upstairs because I couldn't climb the stairs. So when I go down to her, I can't go up without feeling weak and not having palpitations. So that really got me thinking, is this what I'm going to do my entire life? I mean, I'm now a grandmother. You know, I know I've been a good wife and a mother, but as a grandmother, when I tell my granddaughter, I never got to carry you because I really was too weak. And because of that, I decided that, my goodness, I've had enough. Like what Jack said before, I'm just tired of being sick and tired. I've had enough of it, and I've had enough of medications and of doctors, because my mother was a doctor and she would always bring me to the hospital for anything. And because of my husband's experience with the doctors, who I think mishandled his diabetes, I said, no, I will not use that route anymore. What kind of life do I want to have? And I really thought about it because I'm already in my 60s. Do I want to end up in a wheelchair? Do I want to end up being taken care of, or do I still want to take care of my children? I have 7 children. I mean, they're my responsibility. And it would be unfortunate if they see their mother giving in and saying, I give up. When I knew I have this method that I just had to go back to and really take seriously. And joining the follow-up workshops regularly was the key, because my folly was, I thought I could do it on my own.
Yeah.
I really thought, like, if you know the method, then that's it. No, that was a big mistake, because even if I did not have any health conditions, I would not then be able to maximize my full potential. I mean, my health. I have chronic disease. The promise of being able to overcome that was very exciting. And you know what really made me say yes to Buteyko? Because our family has this mission to be healthy and wealthy by being holy. It answered these three things for me. That's why I said, this is it. It's all natural. It's not dependent on me. Like, life is not really all about me, right? I need to get the help of the experts who really know how to guide and how to educate, how to encourage. And really, I know that the Learn Buteyko online team is the best. Is the best. Is the top, hands down, you know. So I said, my goodness, while they're still alive, I better learn and do it now.
Then you started off, you got back to doing steady practice.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
you got into learning how to treat your symptoms, because that's the thing, is when you've got symptoms, the mind freaks out and then you don't know what to do.
Correct.
And you need to be told what to do.
Yes. So that's why the follow-up workshop is so critical. The coaching, the mentoring, the guiding and encouragement at the time when you needed it most. So yeah, I would freak out. You know, I was so obsessed with my blood pressure, like just putting on the cuff of the monitor, BP monitor would really give me palpitations already. Those were difficult times. But you said the right things at the right time. I mean, because of your experience, right? And because of handling so many students already, hundreds of students, you knew what to say. And you know what was going on in the mind of a student like me. And really, it was my mind. You know, looking back, there were useless anxieties. It was really debilitating. And it was real because it really took me so much courage to do the next pause. One pause at a time. That was my life. Yeah. During that time when I got serious and really became very persistent, I said, I have to do this because I trusted the method and I trusted the team. And because you guided me, you know, I would replay your sentences and your words in my mind. And I would remember the sharing, no, of the other students during the follow-up workshops. And they're invaluable. I was encouraged by them also that they did not give up, that they had good results by being very persistent and joining regularly the follow-up workshops.
Yeah, and there are also people who've been practicing for a long time. You know, they weren't beginners.
Yeah.
You know, they got high pauses, but it's keeping the consistency and keep revisiting the practice with a practitioner that somehow it helps to remember.
Not just somehow. It really helps. It really helps. And it's been 6 months and I'm reaping the benefits. You know, I'm still in my journey, okay? But wow, the benefits, the palpitations are almost gone. Of course, I would have them when I have fearful thoughts, when I meet certain situations that are not favorable. But I am now able to handle them. How? By detaching. No? And the techniques that you taught us, and then the poses themselves, and then the shallow breathing really helped me to take control of my mind, because I was already a slave of my mind. I was considering getting psychiatric help. I couldn't get hold of myself. I had no direction. I was so confused. And when I learned it was all about the carbon dioxide, like, okay, better get it up to really feel better. No medications, I think, after 6 weeks. After 6 weeks of doing this seriously, because my blood pressure was below normal already because of the drugs. So with your encouragement, I became brave enough to stop it, to rely on the method to treat my symptoms.
That's quite significant, 6 weeks after being on them for 19 years.
Yes, 19 years.
Yeah, it's quite something.
And of course, after 4 months, I noticed I began losing my excess weight. And I'm now down to the weight that I want.
Oh, good.
I'm down to the weight that I want. And my friends whom I haven't seen for 3 years have noticed. And they said, do what you've been doing because you look great.
You're able to go out now?
Yes. After being in seclusion for 3 years, it's not just out of the house. I was in my room.
Right.
For so long, I didn't even want to go to the bathroom. I would only go there to do the call of nature. I wouldn't even want to take a bath for fear something might happen to me. Difficulty of breathing, or I might have a stroke. So just going out to the bathroom and then later on to the balcony would really meant a lot. But now, yes, I'm able to go out and even attend social events. First, it was always with someone, like my child, but now I can go out on my own. So that's a big, big thing. And well, my children have noticed that from an angry mom, that's my temperament. I have become a cool mom, and I'm not a nagger anymore. And really, I consider this journey using the Buteyko breathing method not just becoming healthy, but really building good character. It's all about character, yeah, because I had to practice several virtues: self-control, temperance, fortitude, determination. Oh my gosh. I was like a block of marble, and the Buteyko breathing method and the practitioner. It's like the sculptor, chiseling, removing my weaknesses, my prejudices, my bad mindset, and all that until I have become better than I was yesterday. Each day, I felt I was really becoming a better person than I was the previous day. And, I don't look forward anymore to the future. I mean, with hope, yeah, but I don't think of the future much anymore. I just think of the precious moment and how I can shape that future by doing what needs to be done. And, can I share some lessons learned?
Sure.
Well, lesson learned is, can we be healthy as we grow old? I thought that was impossible. Yeah. But now it is possible with the Buteyko breathing method. And I hope to reach that point, the paradise or the promised land. And with the benefits that I have gained for the past 6 months, I know I will be able to do that with persistence. With persistence, constant practice, and of course, really joining the follow-up workshops, because right now I don't think I can do it on my own, and it would be a mistake, okay, to really do that, because of course there will be bad times, right? And the practitioner will help us, keep us on track, and really help us determine which are valid thoughts or valid concepts about myself and about my health. And I have also learned that healing takes time, and that it is a humbling experience to seek help. And it's all right to seek help. And that doing the set, I would expect that I would have a low maximum pause, but wow, there are surprising times when I would make a longer pause. Makes my day. The Buteyko breathing method has taught me lessons about life. There are ups and downs, there's suffering, there can be joy also, and you can get out of it, and you can know how to, like what you said, accept, even if you disagree with it. That's what life has thrown at me, what life is for me right now, the events for me, happening for me, not to me. It's a beautiful method. That's why I'm stuck to it. Because really, it's not just about the physical, the emotional, and the mental. It just really healed my soul. It has really healed my soul. Especially, it has helped me grieve. It has helped me grieve through the years. There were times when I would just cry my heart out. It was as if like I was having an emotional detox. And it felt good to be told that it's all right. It's part of the journey. So if I can sing, what a journey it has been. And I would commend the practitioners, hands down, competent, compassionate, very encouraging, and gives us space to decide for ourselves, not really pushing. But when it has to be, you kick our asses. And, I really treasure the times that we share together with the other students, because I've learned to be kinder to people.
Yeah, it's such a privilege, isn't it, to interact through this method, through practice this method together, and the interaction that goes on around the method is extraordinary.
Yes, because they're also different. You get to respect other people. You cannot judge really a person by how they look, because you don't know what's happening to them inside, the challenges that they have. Really, I have become more compassionate and more respectful. Yeah, like the method itself respects the body. If it cannot go beyond that at that particular time, no, you cannot. Even if I want to. So, right? When I was just hitting 30 seconds for my maximum pause, and you say that ideally 80 seconds is the maximum pause, I would think, oh my goodness, will I ever get to that point when? So I would say, never mind that, just do the practice and let's see. So now I'm hitting 80 and even 90. Not consistently, but it's possible.
Sure.
So after 6 months, wow, pleasant surprises. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Well, I am too. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a delight to watch your progress. It's been a privilege. So thank you.
Oh, no, thank you, Martha. Oh, my gosh.
You did the work. You did the work. You followed the advice.
Yeah, when you said every 2 to 3 hours, oh my gosh. Yeah, but really, we need to devote time for it. We have to incorporate it in the schedule. It cannot just be a PS or an addendum. No. When I wake up in the morning, okay.
Yeah.
My prayer, I say a short prayer first, and then I do the practice, and then the long prayer, which becomes easier because I have now learned how to be still the right way. So by being still, I can now be more, how do you call it, better in the way I pray.
Yeah, present.
So all in all, I have become a more loving person, I think. And that's what really matters, right? I always pray for, I'm teary-eyed, for Professor Buteyko, for enduring all the persecution.
Absolutely.
And of course to Jack, who,
because he introduced it to you, yeah.
And who was very patient with me. And then to you. And of course to Christine. It's life-changing for me. My health condition may be simple for others, but I wasn't functioning anymore as a normal person. And now I can carry my granddaughter. I can even sing to her. I can push the stroller while doing the steps.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I told the mother, my daughter, we better teach her the breathing method. But of course, she should. But yeah, I've been encouraging them, and my results have impressed them.
Good.
So hopefully they will also learn them. Now it made me cry.
Well, it is very moving, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite extraordinary because you wouldn't be able to normally expect such results in 6 months.
Correct.
And also, you've been doing a radio show recently, haven't you?
Yes, I was able to go to the radio station face to face.
Doors are opening up, you see.
Yes. And I think I've reached a certain point where ideas are coming naturally, which were difficult to come by before. Because I was too focused on my pain, on my situation, and with a control pulse of 25, 23, 25, I'm slowly getting ideas, becoming more creative. Wow, what a benefit.
Yeah, well, the mind is working more efficiently.
Correct.
It's not clouded by fear and anxiety so much.
Yes, and I don't know about others, but I really get to appreciate the simple things already, unlike before. What is there, like what you said, what is. Thank you. It can be better, but for now, wow, this is good. This is good. Yeah. I have my weaknesses, but I can do better. Yeah. And then really, I learned to accept myself that I'm this, and I'm good. I'm so loving myself, loving others, loving God more. Yeah. Thank you, Buteyko. He wasn't crazy after all.
No. Very logical.
And I'd like to thank all of you, because if you did not persist also, my goodness, what would the world be for us?
Well, the thing is that we've had the same transformation as you had ourselves. And, you know, that speaks for itself. So when you start to know something like this, you're kind of saddled with it when you've seen what it can do.
I was so interested in the method. I downloaded all the papers. I studied them. And Jack was telling me, Palu, do you want to learn so that you can teach? No. Even though I helped him in the administrative work. You know why? Because I didn't want to talk to people about sicknesses. Because I grew up with my mother as a doctor, a psychiatrist for that matter. And I said, no, I will not deal with anything regarding sickness or medicine. I'm just happy to be a student.
Yeah, well, that's the case for lots of people, but some of us,
like you, yes, wow,
take that extra step and decide that they'll see if they can help others or take part in helping others to get the result.
Correct.
And we're not perfect. There's lots of difficulties with it.
I'm sure.
And so, you know, it's not straightforward, but it is a very humbling process.
It is.
We're not infallible, but it's just a delight to see that it's worked for you in the last 6 months, and to see how you've struggled in the past, and now you've transitioned over to the other side, and now you're over the other side. All you have to do is keep it going.
Am I really over the other side?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You know what I would do before? I would go to the website and read all the testimonials and watch all the videos. And I said, in time, I will. So it was really encouraging visiting the website.
It's important.
It's important
to see that it's possible. It's just a question, as you say, of time and persistence and contact with practitioner, and bit by bit you get there. When you're ready to do the job. When I did the job, I was more than ready. I didn't have any other options. There wasn't anything else. I couldn't function at all. And it was the same for Marcel and others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a way out.
It is a way out.
It's good to know that there's a way out.
Oh, yes. I experienced that when my husband was sick, and he was told that he had a lump here in the lungs, and he had just angioplasty, and they were recommending surgery. And I said, is there no other way? There's no other way. And I said, there must be another way. So I know that feeling to be pushed to the wall. It's like the end of the tunnel. I know that. So when I meet people who are looking for another option, I really talk about this. I really talk about this. Because this really is like you're in a tunnel, but with you, the team, really the practitioners helping us, like we could see the light. It's so enticing. And with the sharing of the other students, you know you can get there in time.
In time, but just being able to get benefit
Immediately.
To treat your symptoms just gradually builds more and more confidence.
Yes, because true, if I did not have any benefit, immediate benefit during the time or after doing the set, of course I would not push through, right? So there were benefits even during bad days.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're presented with a whole chaos internally, and you do a few tests and it feels better, and you're thinking, why didn't I do that before? I mean,
yes, exactly. Why did I not do this before? Well, yeah. And the things that Jack taught before, they just made sense during this time.
That's right. Well, all that you remember things from the past that help you, don't you?
Yes.
All kinds of experiences you've had that feed into the practice and help you to keep going.
Yes. It is so amazing, especially during your follow-up workshops when you really share more. Like, wow, we didn't know that about the method. And that's very encouraging and very inspiring because that will keep us going and moving. The thing is, you learn it, you understand, but it's so different when you experience it.
Yeah.
When you experience it. So really, we have to get our hands dirty and really do the practice. That's the way to really immerse oneself and really to reap the benefits.
Well, thank you, Palou. It's been lovely to talk to you.
It's been wonderful working with you. I hope this is not the end.
It's not the end.
Why did I not do this before?